What is micro contrast? How does it affect your photography? Let's talk a little bit about this topic and let's understand a little bit in depth. Hello everybody, my name is Attila Mate from Blue Sky Photography, and today I'd like to talk to you about micro contrast and how does it affect your photography. Why it is important to be able to adjust the micro contrast in your portraits, in your landscapes, in your photography in general. What effect do you get in different portrait styles or in different landscape styles? Or you have different options in your editing workflow. You know, when you edit your portraits, you have different options. What you want to do with your portraits? Do you want to emphasize the drama in the portrait, or do you want to emphasize maybe love or maybe different emotional feelings, you know, in your portrait? So I think the best way is if we get into my computer and if I explain to you in my computer while I'm showing you, you know, why it is important to be able to adjust the micro contrast in your portraits. Now, I don't know honestly many editing softwares who gives you the options to adjust the micro contrast. I use DX Optics Pro, and this is one of the reasons why I use DX Optics Pro, because DX Optics Pro is very good in that's actually a RAW converter. Sorry, I just messed up. It's I should have tell you that DX Optics Pro is a RAW converter. It's when I shoot my photos in RAW, then after I just copy them in DX Optics Pro and I will edit in RAW, and then I will convert them in TIFF or in JPEG or whatever type of file I want to do. So let's get into my computer and let's see in DX Optics Pro how and when and what effect you get if you adjust the micro contrast. So let's see. So we are in my computer now, and let's open up DX Optics Pro. And as you can see over here, this is a photo about a newborn baby. And why I choose this photo? Because it's not only in portraits you can have you can get yourself in a situation where it is important to adjust the micro contrast. As you can see in this photo, you know, I will show you in a minute why it is very important, the micro contrast. Because if you see on this newborn baby, you know, like newborn babies in usual, they will have very colored skin. You know, it can be like it can be a yellowish color. Now this baby was still a little bit yellowish, you know, but as you can see over here on his tummy, you know, and on the chest, you can see that the blood vessels, you know, you can still see the blood vessels on his body. And I will show you, I will close up a little bit and then I will show you what I'm talking about. So if we get close like this, and then just get over here, you can see over here the blood vessels. If you see on his skin, you know, you can see, and it does not look very nice. It does not look very flattering. I would say it looks a little bit weird, you know. Now obviously the lighting and this photo was made with LED light, and the LED light, you know, a little bit emphasized this because the light was very good, and it emphasizes this. But this is something what you can adjust with micro contrast. Now if I just zoom out so you can see what I'm doing over here, and if we go to this side where we can set all the stuff, you know, we go down here to micro contrast. You see the contrast over here, contrast and micro contrast. And if I take the micro contrast and pull it down, just look at the skin. Just look at over here. You see, it is completely gone. It is completely gone. Now, if you look at this photo, and if you compare with the one before, you see now it's over there. You can see now the blood vessels. And if I leave it, look at this. Do you see the difference? This is amazing, I have to tell you. And if you don't have this possibility, the example, if I pull up the micro contrast the same how it was, and now I take, let's say, simply the contrast, and I pull off the contrast, and you can see the blood vessels are still there, you see? So the contrast is gone, but the blood vessels, you can still see it's not gone, you know, that's nothing to do with contrast. So even if you pull down the contrast completely or halfway, you know, that will not resolve this issue. And this issue, it is resolved only with micro contrast. So you need to get access to micro contrast. Now, I don't know if I remember well, I used to be a Lightroom user, and if I remember well, Lightroom does not have this option to adjust the micro contrast. I don't know at the moment. On that time when I was using Lightroom, it wasn't there, definitely. It might be there now. If it's there, then you have to learn to use it, because it is very important. Like you see in this photo, it is exceptionally important to use the micro contrast. I would not like to give this photo like this to my customers, because it's simply not good. Now, if we get to the next photo, you see over here is the same story. You can see here on his little chest, you know, that the blood vessels are there. And if I just take the micro contrast and pull it down, you can see that they are disappeared. You know, it's not over there anymore. So it's only a little bit of an adjustment, but with this adjustment you can save the photo. If you don't have this kind of possibility, or if you don't know what to do, unfortunately your photo will not look the same. You know, it will be bad. So let's get to a portrait, and let's see why it is important in a portrait. Now, we are here in this portrait, and this is just a random picture. You know, I just selected a random picture, and I just want to show you in a portrait why it is important. Well, most of the time people will have defects, you know, in anywhere on the body. I mean, it can be on the face, it can be, you know, and sometimes the face, you know, it's full with wrinkles, or it's full with marks, or whatever, you know. Now, as you can see over here in this picture, you know, the picture of this girl, the face is not the cleanest, I would say. You know, there are some marks, you know, on the face, and if I take the micro contrast now, and I just pull it down, the micro contrast, and now look the effect on the picture. If I pull it down, now look at this face. It is definitely at least 60-70% better than how it was. Now look at this. This is what it was. This is how it is. Look, it is completely different. I mean, I don't know. What do you think, guys? What is your opinion? I think that this portrait, it is 100% better than this one. Look. So this is something what is necessary when you shoot portraits. When you are in landscape, it's a different situation, you know, in landscape. But let's get over here to this photo, and as you can see over here, again, it's a portrait. It's a random photo, let's say, and as you can see on the face, you know, over here, that there are some wrinkles over here and some marks, you know, over here on the face. Now, if I take the micro contrast and just pull it down, look at this. Now look at this face, and look at this face. Which one would you prefer? I would prefer definitely this one, without even thinking. I mean, this looks very, very good near this one. You see the wrinkles over here, they are dampened. If you have a look, just look at that, how dampened they are. You know, you almost cannot see the wrinkles. You see, the face will look much nicer, you know, much pleasing to your eyes, you know, if you pull down the micro contrast. So in portraits, if you want to hide some defects of the person, you know, that defects are not necessarily bad. I mean, with age, you know, wrinkles will come with age. That's not a shame. That's nothing to hide of, you know, like. But you can make the face much pleasing to your eyes, and your portrait pleasing to your eyes if you pull off the micro contrast. And this is important to know. Now again, if you have a portrait somewhere outside where the person is not very close to you, I mean the face is not so obvious, you know, it's not a close-up portrait, let's say, on this kind of picture you can use the opposite. You can bring up the micro contrast and that will bring a punch to your picture. Now just have a look at this one, at this picture, how it looks. And if I bring up the micro contrast, now in this case I will pull up the micro contrast and look at the grass. Did you see that? How different it looks. Look, before, after, before, after. Now you can decide yourself how much you want to give, how much micro contrast you want to give. But in this kind of situation, when the face is not very close to the camera, it's not so emphasized, you will not see the bad effects of the high micro contrast on the face. The bad effects you will see only if the face is close. So it's a close-up portrait, like shoulder to up, you know, something like that. If it's a this kind of portrait, you know, then definitely you can bring up and you can play around a little bit and see which one do you like, you know. I mean, you can like one or the other one. And obviously, if you shoot the example landscapes, now with landscapes, you bring up the micro contrast. That will bring a punch to your picture. It will your picture will look much nicer, you know, much better, you know, than without the micro contrast. Now, like I said, I don't know exactly if Lightroom, the example, uses this, and can you have access to set the micro contrast. You know, I don't know that. I will have to check that, but I don't know. If you have, it's great. If not, that is the reason why I started to use DX Optics Pro, because this is one of the big advantages of DX Optics Pro, and there are another good few, which one I like very, very much, and that's why I use this software, because I know that this is very important for my workflow. I am a portrait photographer, and I know that for my portraits this is exceptionally good. So I hope that you like this video, guys, and I hope it was helpful to you. If you like it, please like and subscribe and give me a thumbs up and share my videos. Other than that, I wish you a nice day. If you think that I left something out, or if you think that you can add something constructive to this video, please leave a comment down below. Say your opinion. Your opinion is always welcome, and we can discuss it in a professional manner to help others to learn in photography and to advance in photography. And I wish you a nice day, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, guys.